Have you ever had a fight with your partner that left you feeling disconnected? Maybe the words they used were sharp, emotions ran high, and now there is this awkward tension between you two. You want to move past it, but you're not sure how to reconnect. Sounds familiar, right? I know. Fight happens in every relationship, but what really matters is what you do after the fight. Do you let the argument build a wall between you two, or do you use it as a chance to grow even closer? If you're struggling to rekindle intimacy after a fight, don't worry, I've got you covered. Today, I'm going to be sharing 5 powerful ways to restore connection, trust, and closeness after an argument. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Intimacy Insight by Anais. If this is your first time here, welcome. This is a space where we have real, open, and honest conversation about love, relationships, and intimacy. My goal is to help you navigate the highs and the lows of relationships so you can build deeper and more fulfilling connections with your partner. Now, let's be honest. Fights can feel awful. After an argument, you might feel distant from your partner, unsure of what to say or how to break the tension. But here is something important to remember. Conflict doesn't have to weaken your relationship. If handled the right way, it can actually make you both stronger as a couple. So in today's video, we are going to talk about 5 simple but powerful ways to reconnect with your partner after a fight. Whether it was a small disagreement or a big blow up, these steps will help you move past the tension, rebuild trust, and bring back intimacy into your relationship. So let's get into it. Number 1 is the power of apology. More than just I'm sorry. Alright, let's start with the big one, apologizing. It's actually the big one. We all know we should say sorry after a fight, but it's not always easy. That's the honest truth. Sometimes pride gets in the way. Sometimes we feel like our partner should apologize first. And sometimes, let's be real, we don't even think we are wrong. But here's the thing, apologizing isn't about winning or losing. It's about prioritizing the relationship over the argument. A good apology is more than just muttering sorry under your breath. You just come and sorry. It's not sorry. It needs to be genuine, thoughtful, and free of blame. Instead of saying, I'm sorry you feel that way, which, let's be honest, this doesn't sound apologetic at all. Say something like, I'm really sorry for the way I spoke to you. I got caught up in my emotion, but that wasn't fair to you. I regret how I handled this situation, and I want to make things right. Do you notice how the statements don't make excuses? They take ownership of the behavior. That's the key. A good apology also focuses on repairing the emotional connection. If your partner is still upset, acknowledge their feelings. You can say something like, I can see that what I said hurt you, and that's the last thing I want to do to you. It might feel uncomfortable, but an honest apology can be the first step towards healing and restoring intimacy in your relationship. The second one is active listening, because feeling heard is everything. Fight often happens because one or both partners feel unheard, misunderstood, or invalidated. So once emotion settles, the next step is listening. Really listening to each other. Now I get it. Listening sounds simple, but how often do we actually listen to understand rather than listening to just respond? Here is a common mistake people make. Your partner starts explaining why they were upset with you, and halfway through, you're already forming a defense in your mind instead of listening to what he's saying. The moment they stop talking, you jump in with, yeah, but you also did. Does this sound familiar? We've all done it. But this kind of response keeps the conflict going instead of resolving it. Instead, practice active listening by just doing these 3 things I'm about to mention now. Give him full attention. Put away your phone. Pause the TV and focus on your partner. Then repeat back what they said in your own words. Maybe you can say, if I understand you, this is what you said, this reassures them that you really heard them. Let's say, for instance, you felt ignored when I was on phone call while we were talking, and I see why you're upset. Validate your emotions, even if you don't fully agree with their perspective. Their feelings are still valid. Instead of that, say things like, I get why you felt that way. That makes sense, and I'm sorry you had to feel that way. When both partners feel truly heard, the tension melts away, making room for love and connection. The third thing to do is reframing the conflict, seeing the bigger picture. After a fight, it's very easy to focus on the hurtful words and the emotions that came with it. He said this to me, she said this to me. But if you want to move forward and rekindle intimacy, try to reframe the conflict and see the bigger picture. Ask yourself, what was this fight really about? Because the honest truth is that most fights aren't about the dishes, forgotten text, or tone of voice. They are about underlying emotional needs. Feeling unappreciated, unheard, insecure, or disconnected. For example, a fight about chores might actually be about one partner feeling like they are carrying too much of the emotional and physical load in the relationship. A fight about texting back late might really be about one partner feeling neglected or less important. So instead of focusing on who was right and who was wrong, ask yourself, how can we prevent this from happening again? When couples work together to understand the real issue, they build emotional intimacy. So instead of resentment, they build emotional intimacy instead of resentment. The fourth one is physical touch, the silent apology. Have you ever noticed after a fight, sometimes all you want is hug, but pride gets in the way? Well, here is the truth. Physical touch is one of the fastest way to repair emotional connections. Science backs this up. Physical affection releases oxytocin, the bonding hormone, which helps to lower stress and rebuild trust. So after a fight, don't underestimate the power of holding hands, a long walk, warm hug, a gentle back rub, sitting close together while watching movie. If words feel too difficult at first, sometimes a simple touch says more than just an apology can ever say. And if both partners are ready, intimacy in the bedroom can also be a way to reconnect, but only if it feels natural and not forced. The key is to start slow and let affection lead the way. The fifth one is quality time. Rebuilding the bond through shared experiences. When a fight creates distance between you and your partner, one of the best ways to bridge that gap is to spend intentional quality time together. Now, I don't mean sitting in the room or on your phone. I don't mean sitting in the room on your phones. I mean real quality time. Gisting, laughing, connecting, and reminding each other why you fell in love in the first place. Here are the simple ideas I can give you. You can plan a low pressure date, go for a walk, grab a coffee, or watch a feel good movie together. You can cook meals together. Food has a way of bringing people together, and cooking together can be a fun, light-hearted way to reconnect with your partner. Have a no phone just sit and talk about things that makes you happy, memories, dreams, future plans. The goal is to focus on connection rather than rehashing the fight. When you start sharing joy again, intimacy naturally follows. We've said a lot today. So I want you to know that every couple fights, but what separates strong relationships from struggling ones is how they reconnect afterwards. So I want you to always remember these 5 things. Apologize sincerely and take responsibility. Listen to understand and not to respond. Reframe the conflict to uncover deeper issues. Use physical affection to bridge the emotional gap. Spend quality time together to rebuild the bond. So there you have it. I just summarized all our points now. The 5 powerful ways to reconnect and rekindle intimacy after a fight. Because at the end of the day, love isn't about never having disagreements. It's about how you choose to handle them and how you show up for each other after the fight. A fight doesn't mean that the love is gone. It's just a temporary storm. And with the right tool, you can come back even stronger than before. Now, I want to hear from you. What's your favorite way to reconnect with your partner after a fight? Drop it in the comment section. I always love reading your insights, your comments, and your experiences. And if you found this video very helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you never miss out on any new relationship and intimacy tips. Also, if you have a relationship story or question you want me to talk about, feel free to send it my way on my Gmail, intimacyinsightsbyana@gmail.com. I would love to share it anonymously, of course, except given the permission in the future videos. Thank you so much for being here. Remember, every relationship has its challenges, but with the right mindset and effort, love always finds its way back. Until next time, take care and keep nurturing your connection. Bye.